welcome to Urban Legends, the internet's largest urban legend podcast by volume. I am just a little baby and I need a cuddle, and I am Quiz. And with me, as always, is Mr.
Neil Herbert.
Did you enjoy that,
having
Neil?
no part of whatever that was.
Did you enjoy it? I'm trying to make it was wholesome, wasn't it? Isn't that what people on the internet like?
That was going to turn sour very quickly. I'm not convinced that people on the internet.
Not everything that I say is a good idea. Do you know what I mean?
No, you got to try. You got to throw.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
This is true. Yeah.
How you doing? Neil? Good week.
We've been up to. It's chilly old time in England, isn't it? But it's that time of year. Everyone's got colds. It's it's probably getting a bit repetitious this every week. It's cold and then people coming
I know.
But
I tend to switch off during this bit.
Yeah, our usual conversations. Doing all right. How's things your end?
Yeah, all right. Still applying for jobs, but I've got a feeling in my waters that things will start moving in a positive direction for me this week.
Coming up, Flynn.
I went to the gym for the first time in 20 years.
I assume you crushed it?
I did crush it. I crushed something.
Crushed your bones and joints.
I shattered both testicles using a Thigh Master.
Nice. No pain, no gain.
Exactly.
That's what Mark Wahlberg does.
Yeah, Mark Wahlberg.
Gets up at 2 o'clock in the morning and crushes his testicles.
Oh yeah, I've been thinking.
House bricks.
Mark Wahlberg. I get up at 3 a.m. I have
the oxygen chamber.
I have go in the oxygen chamber. I have a shower to wash off my nightmares of the evening past. Then I go down to the golf club.
The thing is, I looked at that whole fitness regime and it read like something out of fucking American Psycho. I know this is very old, so it's not exactly a typical thing that we're
Do you think he'd be in better shape?
I don't know. I'm sure.
He's
getting on for a bit, isn't he? But he's
in good shape, but he's not in American Psycho shape.
Well, they reckon as well, because to get that kind of like really like 6-pack, 8-pack or whatever thing going on, apparently you need to starve yourself as well. So you can't just like do loads and loads of gym stuff. You have to.
You've got to have really to get like that really defined 6-pack. You have to have a really low. It's actually like doing sit-ups will do fuck all, right? Like it's literally you've got to bring down your body fat because that's the only way
Ben Affleck was saying this and was going on at the beach and he's like, we've got to be late 40s or something.
Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck, yeah.
Add 10.
Yeah, but I was going to,
he's in his 50s.
Is it his 50s?
Matt Damon's like 54 or something.
Oh, okay. But yeah, and they're all going, dad bod. He's 50 for Christ's sake. You'd be lucky to
and he
look
likes drinking.
Yeah.
And smoking. Good lad, isn't he?
Fair days.
Good lad. Neil, I've got a question to ask you.
I don't know what they went out when they... Go on, what?
Who'd win in a fight, Poseidon or Neptune?
Hang on a minute, I might be getting my mythology mixed up here. Aren't they the same person?
What?
So Poseidon rules the waves.
You're thinking of Britannia.
Yeah, that's true. That's only above the waves, though. Aren't Poseidon and Neptune?
No, what about the submarines that keep us safe from nuclear attack?
That's true, yeah.
We rule the waves.
Sturdy tridents as well.
Yeah. So, don't tell people what they're called.
Oh, no,
it's a national secret.
They'll cut it off.
Who'd win in a fight? Neptune or Poseidon?
Neptune.
Okay. Just write that down.
I say that because the Poseidon adventure, that shit crashed and so clearly wasn't all that, even though I'm pretty sure it's the same character.
So just moving on.
Yeah, fair enough. That went that one.
So I was listening to a better podcast called The Dollop, which I really like.
Oh yeah, any podcast,
most of them are.
As I said, we're the first rung on the ladder.
Yeah,
climb us to other podcasts.
We can almost see the ladder, can't we, in the distance? But,
yeah. But we assume there's a route up somewhere.
And they were doing a thing about baseball.
Ooh.
Baseball, America's sweetheart.
We covered that once, I think.
We did cover it once. But so I got interested.
It
was on Bambino and the Billy Goat.
Oh, that was it, yeah. The curse, the Cubby curse.
And so in baseball, you have your main team, your premier team, and then they have a load of feeder teams, right, that are associated with
They're in
them.
like leagues below the
like the double A league and the triple A league, and that, and so they and I was having a look at some of the triple A teams, just because I was listening to a podcast, they were mentioning a couple of them, and some of them have quite hilarious names. So I thought I'd put some past you and see what you think.
More of our American listeners, Chris, who are the lion's share of our
literally are the lion's share of our podcast.
Listener base or something.
So here are just some I pulled out, and I'd like
it's like one of those YouTube reacts videos.
It's basically a YouTube react video,
but we put it on podcast form instead.
Sugarland Space Cowboys.
Oh, that's nice.
That's good, isn't it?
It's got a bit of rhinestone about it. I could see Dolly Parton getting into
that. Or Jamiroquai.
Oh, yeah.
The Akron Rubber Ducks.
Okay, interesting.
The Rocket City Trash Pandas, which is what they call raccoons. The Montgomery Biscuits.
Oh.
The Cedar Rapid Kernels and the the badges, like this really tough corn.
Some old
Kernels with a K, not like
probably had some views.
No, kernel with a K, as in like corn kernel.
Oh, cool. Oh, right. Okay,
yeah, it's weirder than that.
I was thinking some rustic old fella with a moustache, military pretensions.
The Lancing Lug Nuts. I feel like some of these may have come out of factories.
Yeah, I mean, it's clearly, part of the Rust Belt or whatever.
And the Chattanooga Lookouts.
Oh,
look out! And
surely that should be the Chattanooga Choo Choos, or is that the double A team?
No, that's the world's most wonderful song / dance. Oh, right. And my favourite, the Amarillo Sods Poodles. They're good, aren't they, Neil?
Yeah. Assume you didn't make all of those up.
No,
I genuinely can't tell.
They generally exist. I didn't make one of them up.
Yeah, like if you tell me that they were all genuine, or you completely made all of those up, I would equally. Yeah.
And what I might do in a few episodes' time is, like we did when we were bored at work, I might go through all of the Japanese soccer teams and take their motto and translate it through Google Translate. So it's like score to win the heart and stuff like that.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Might do that. So, Neil, we've had a lot of fun so far.
Oh.
Talking almost exclusively for myself. So, what the fuck are we talking about today, Home Slice?
Wow. Oh, I like Home Slice. That's good. We're going to be going on to the Bukit Timah Monkey Man. So
Bukit Timah Monkey Man.
For those who aren't familiar, it's a forest in Singapore.
Singapore. You've been to Singapore, haven't you, famously?
I have been to Singapore, yeah, and I've seen some monkeys.
Your dad worked there or something?
No, we just went out for a holiday. But he did. There was an office, I think, somewhere, a place he worked, where he went out to Indonesia a few times.
All right,
but not
Singapore.
Singapore was just kind of like we went there for holiday there, and there in Malaysia. I was about 14 or something, but yeah, they
I hadn't even been abroad at that age, Neil.
There you go.
First time on a plane, I was 15, and I went to Dublin.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Dublin's all right.
Yeah, it's all right.
Very lovely city. Nice and walkable.
Too expensive now, of course.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's gotten very pricey.
Nice Ireland, just in general.
For you. Yeah.
It's quite funny because, like, the GDP per person in Ireland is about double that of people in the UK. And it's quite interesting because Ireland was a quite advanced seat of learning, and people came from all over Europe, like up until the 14th century, didn't they? It was like,
oh yeah, the monks and everything.
It was very progressive, and then Cromwell and Britain took it over, and then basically loads of people died and stuff, and then then Ireland got independence, and now it's doing twice as well as Britain. So I think probably just leave Ireland alone, to be honest. seems to do all right on its own. I mean, and I will say that is, I do have skin in that game. So, hey, Britain, Leave Ireland alone. Ding, 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 ding.
Paul McCartney.
That was the bootleg of Another Brick in the Wall.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. By Public School Boys, Pink Floyd.
He did some good stuff.
Yeah, maybe. So, yeah, let's hear about this Timah Bukit Monkey Man's.
Singapore's.
Been a while since we've talked about a monkey man, isn't it?
Yeah,
I mean, not in our personal life, but on
No. I mean, it's usually constant. They talk about monkey men. Yeah, I don't think we've done any kind of like hominid type creature.
No, not
for a while. So this is another kind of like pseudo Bigfoot type thing. So I'm gonna.
Oh, is he that kind of monkey man?
Yeah, kind of.
I was hoping it was like a swinging around monkey man. Like not a grey tape, but a monkey.
We don't know. We don't know.
Oh, okay. I like the way you said that.
I mean, he's even a monkey. Who can say?
Who knows?
Who knows? Yeah, so I'm going to start with the wiki, and then we'll sort of move around some various articles. I'll shout out to the articles that we use as we get to them. So, the Bukit Timah Monkey Man, commonly abbreviated BTM or BTMM.
Oh, so I thought that was a Korean boy band.
Exactly, that does sound very much like a K-pop band, doesn't it?
Yeah.
BTM. If you told me that they had a #1 hit,
I'd say I've got no idea.
Yeah, as with so much. Well, actually, funnily enough, I think everyone's coming up 90s again. Apparently, the #1 album is Shed 7.
No, that's a new album. Yeah.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, the 30 years after their
last one.
Their last album, or their last #1 album.
Apparently it's good. I don't know. I'm probably not going to listen to it.
Might give it a go. Good luck to them.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm not wishing ill on them. I'm just saying it's unlikely I'll listen to. Well, there might be some
death threats.
There might be some history there.
Yeah,
but
I don't know why our X-stroke Twitter account is suddenly sending rude messages, sliding into the DMs.
I don't control that account.
Okay,
that's done by an algorithm. But bygones be bygones. I wish them well.
Yeah, he always turned vicious.
Unfortunately, things didn't work out. Some things were said back in the 80s, but forgive and forget. Well, no, you can't forget, Neil. Not when some things like that have been said. You can never forget, but you can try and forgive, and that's a journey which I'm certainly on the first few steps of.
Okay, we'll leave it. We'll leave it there.
We can if you want.
We can take it further and become more sad.
No, it's fine. Get it. Yeah. Forget it. Just have a look at our Twitter account. The algorithm knows what I'm thinking.
I'll go and have a look.
I just like to distance myself from the comments.
So you just like to attack spuriously through some algorithm that you've trained with your own hate speech.
So every algorithm.
Yeah. So BTMM is a creature often cited as a forest-dwelling hominid or primate, and is also accounted for as being immortal. So there are various accounts. So it could be some sort of monkey man creature. It could be
a forest spirit,
some sort of forest spirit. Yeah, we don't know. However, the exact identity remains unknown, and its existence is disputed.
That is surprising.
Isn't that surprising? The documentation is sparse and scattered. The creature is largely considered a product of local folklore. So I will say there's supposedly, look at the references and everything, they're quite circular, but supposedly the sightings go back to...
They refer to each other.
Yeah, they
reference each other.
Well, no, I suppose that's what I should have, what I would have meant, but no, it's just kind of like...
Is it? Do you remember when we were watching the Three Angels Network, right? When we were traveling through Greece,
heavily reliant on biblical interpretation, yeah.
Where there was a guy going, "Hey, look, I'm a mathematician, right?"
Yeah. And I'm skeptical, like you, about these claims of the forthcoming apocalypse.
Yeah. He was like that guy, and he was saying,
I did the maths, and it all pans out.
No, but he literally. I don't know if you remember this particular episode. We watched a fair bit.
We watched a fair few, yeah. For some reason.
But he was saying, but from a maths point of view, I can't dispute that the Bible's real, because in Corinthians 2:16. Jesus says there will be a plague upon these houses or whatever. And then in Deuteronomy 8:12, there's a plague on the houses. And, and he goes, that's a one-to-one correlation. And he goes, if you go through the Bible, like this happens like 140 times. So the chance, the chance of that happening is like, it's like 10 to the power of 2. So from a mathematical point of view, I have to concede that this is right. It's like you can't use. You can't use
the source to prove itself.
No.
I thought that was quite an innovative argument. I mean,
yes. Well, it turned you around, didn't it? Yeah. Like you instantly went to the nearest Orthodox church and got baptised for a second time.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm going to be ready for the rapture.
Oh, you certainly are rapture ready now.
Indeed.
With all your I love Jesus mugs.
Yeah, my
the amount of money you sent to Alex Jones.
Oh yeah, maybe that was going down the wrong path.
He has messages from God. It's not anything to do with the fact that his neck's so thick that he gets a lack of oxygen to the brain when he's sleeping.
Yeah, I think it's...
And hallucinates.
He's yelling, I think.
And the fact that he's got a massive problem with cocaine and alcohol.
Allegedly, but yeah. Well,
not allegedly.
Is this on record? I don't.
No, you don't need to do allegedly. We haven't got anything they can take from us.
Okay, fair enough. I was going to say my dignity.
And if Alex Jones has a go at us, it's only good for our ratings.
That's true. Yeah, we'll just rant and rave in court. He does. Yeah. So I mean, I was going to say is that there's been basically there's some. When I say circular, basically everyone just references the same few websites and things. Right. So I don't see there's anything going back to a newspaper or something like that.
Right.
So how much you can buy into these, but they have been in quite a bit of popular culture. They're in an episode of Bone, or it's been referenced in an episode of Bone, so we'll come on to that later on. But yeah, the actual references, they seem to be just sort of other websites, and they'll sort of repeat similar things. So say, for example, there's quite a few that talk about the fact that the first sighting was in 1805. Nobody seems to actually substantiate where that comes from. It's just referenced in other websites. But anyway, so yeah, supposedly the sightings began as early as 1805. Like pre-colonial Singapore. There were also apparently a growth in sightings during the Second World War, especially amongst Japanese soldiers who were stationed in Singapore.
Yeah, well,
Pacific Wars and all that. But yeah, so we're going to move to the...
So were they... Do you think that they were maybe part of the resistance?
Well, Japanese fighters... Oh, you think the Monkey Man might have been part of the resistance? Yeah, entirely possible.
Okay. Yeah, get out of our forest. Empire of Japan.
Horrible guerrilla warfare pun percolating in my head.
Yeah, in your head's probably where it...
Probably where it should have stayed, yeah.
No, it's okay, just let it out.
Let it out,
Neil. Otherwise, you might, have a stroke or something.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, you can't that's literally poison. So you don't want poison swimming around your brains.
No. So this is I think this is an Australian travel site.
Just to check, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fully recovered now.
Okay, good. Sorry,
got over that. Yeah,
I do worry.
Travel.9.com.org. .au. So yeah, it's an Aussie one. It doesn't say. Oh no, it's by Chris Ashton. So just he talks a little bit about the kind of forest. Every place has its own legend to tell. North America has Bigfoot. The Himalayas have the abominable snowman, the Yeti. Australia has the Yowie.
Oh, here we go.
Previous podcast. And Singapore has the Monkey Man. Never heard of it? Allow us to explain. Bukit Timah Nature Reserve, located just 12 kilometres from Singapore city centre. And so I've never actually been there, but I've been to Singapore before, is the alleged stomping ground of the Bukit Timah Monkey Man, a mysterious ape-like cryptid that's been sighted lurking in Singapore shadows since at least the 1940s. And other people say sightings go back to 1805. Tales of the Monkey Man's existence have intrigued locals and fascinated visitors for decades. But so far, no one can really agree on who or what the creature may be. Some believe the Monkey Man to be a restless soul destined to roam the earth for all eternity. Others that it's simply a folk tale to keep children away from the forest. I mean, we come across that a lot, don't we?
Yeah.
A lot of these is just kind of like,
that's classic
children
humaning
to behave somehow.
That's just classic humaning.
Yeah, good parenting. Just make stuff up and get your kids to do things. So alleged sightings are rare, and photos even rarer still. Well, we've got a video and a photo which I found, but we'll get onto those later on. But those who have witnessed it describe a creature that walks upright on two legs, yet has the face of a monkey. So similar creatures have been spotted across Indonesia and India, but it was a sighting by a local Malayan elder in 1805, which sparked the legend in Singapore.
I mean, that could just be describing me. To be fair,
if you've had a rough night,
even if I've had 12 hours sleep now, like let's be honest, I'm quite ape-like.
Yeah.
I'm struggling to walk. I mean, there's been a lot because of my gym thing and the fact that I've got limited movement now. There has been an increase in monkey man sightings around the Tesco's local near the station.
Yeah, we'll cover that in subsequent weeks. Need to get some heat under this, Chris. Start sending you out in the warehouse.
Let's get this pot a boiling.
Nice. And during World War II, the rumours really took off with accounts of strange beings and forest men spreading like wildfire through the camps of Japanese soldiers. It doesn't say much about whether they were resistance fighters, but
maybe it's still classified.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, when the documents get unleashed and whatever.
Well, they don't want people to know, do they? Because if Japan gets uppity again, then
that's true.
If it's confirmed, then they might have countermeasures.
You don't want to reveal. It's sort of like we were talking about Trident submarine. You don't want to know the location. Anyway, this is saying that the most recent sighting was around 2007. Actually, there's some more. After that. So I think this article came out in 2016. So there was a sight in 2012, a video, in fact. We'll go into that later on. And then they just talk around how the park is quite nice. Yeah, you can go around it. Well, the one thing is, it's like 1.6 square kilometres. This forest.
So it's tiny.
Yeah, so it is a nice preserved forest in the middle of Singapore.
1.6 square kilometres. That's like 200 metres on each side or something. I know it's not a bit.
Yeah, I mean
but not much. If it's square.
Yeah, it's pretty small, so you think the odds of having a bunch of undiscovered species living within that.
I mean, it just sounds like a copse.
Yeah, I mean, it's home to more than 500 species of fauna and 1,000 flowering plants.
Yeah, but nice. One of each.
Yeah, and there's also a lot of like long-tailed macaques. So they're little monkeys you do see.
Yeah, macaques are cool.
Around Singapore. And they're very kind of like they're quite friendly. I seem to remember. I think we went to some park or something that had a load of these. You could buy bananas, and they come along and just sort of take them off of you. They're very kind of friendly.
Did you get into a fight with them? Were you trying to eat the banana?
Yeah, it's like, no, it's my bananas.
It's my banana, you prick.
I didn't end up. I was too young at the
rolling time. Around on the floor.
Didn't get into a fist fight on with a bunch of macaques. Yeah. Oh, they're going up on you, clever boys. And then at the end of this article,
did I tell you about the time? I might have said this on the podcast before, but like, fuck it. When I went to Bali, there's like a famous like temple which has loads of monkeys. Like it's like a monkey. Okay, yeah. They I think they run it. I'm not sure, but so they're they're quite big-ish monkeys. Not like macaques. I can't remember what type of monkey they were. They had big fangs and that, but they were really smart. So when you went in, it suggested that you hire a guide, right? And it's not much money. And so we were like, yeah, sure, we'll do that. And the guide was like, carry a stick with you because then the monkeys will leave you alone because I know you give them a smack, right?
Yeah.
And this American couple like kind of refused to get a guide and stuff. Fair enough. But then when we were walking between sort of two walls in the on the outside of the temple, this the couple were in front of us, and this monkey like pops up on the wall, reached down, tapped this American guy on the shoulder. He looked round, a monkey appeared on the other wall, took his hat. He looked the other way. The monkey took his lunch. And then they all just ran off.
Run off.
Yeah. Because he had his lunch like in his backpack. And the monkey went... They just absolutely stripped him down. And it all happened in about 2 seconds. So they were like, distract, distract, distract.
Yeah.
Very much like Victorian or Dickensian London, I imagine.
Yes.
Pickpockets. It shows you it's actually it's hard baked into the ape mind to be a pickpocket. So don't blame pickpockets. It's just
they just do what comes naturally.
Don't put them in zoos.
Well, of course, with that high ridge simian brow, bring back some phrenology.
Lovely.
Yeah, and then they reference. So they talk a little bit about the beauty of the forest, and then the nice little reference at the end to Australia's drop bears that could be distracted by Vegemite behind your ears. So obviously drop bears.
So they are on the list.
They don't exist, do they? But
or do they, Neil? We'll find out in Series 8.
See if we can get an hour out of them. Fair enough. Right, so then we're going to find the best article. Here's for the sightings. So, and supposedly this is supposed to be quite similar to the orang pendek, which lives in Indonesia, which is another kind of, again, we've said this before, but there's kind of like about 1,001 variations of Bigfoot as there are of Nessie.
Yeah.
Everyone's got some kind of thing of it. So accounts of the BTMM. So the sightings often occur at night. That's helpful.
Yeah. Well, they're probably nocturnal.
Yeah, entirely possible.
Under the skyscrapers and bright lights of Singapore City, then they're 10 metre by 10 metre piece of wilderness. Yeah, you're not going to go out during the day, are you?
Yeah. They're not. They've got night shift. So this is from a mothership.
Do you reckon that they can? Do you reckon that they can sort of camouflage themselves like against the tree bark, like the people used to do in the Shore deodorant advert?
Well, funnily enough, one of the photos.
Do you remember that?
No, I don't. The Shore deodorant. I don't. Oh,
they were like painted. They were people, and they were painted, and they could. They like because it was like Shore natural flavour or whatever.
Oh, okay. So it was meant to be.
And they were like painted, and they were like being chased by wolves.
It might smell like radioactive waste, but actually no. It's
but it's natural.
It's got natural stuff in it, isn't
it? Yeah, nuclear's natural. Do you know what I mean? Everything's natural.
Yeah.
We're not pulling it out from outside the universe yet.
Water's a chemical.
But they were being like chased by wolves, and then they stood next to trees, and because their body paint, it looks like they were part of the tree. I'm just wondering.
Nice.
There's a little reference there from
that campaign apparently worked
from the 90s.
I don't recall that at all.
Okay. Well,
I remember that Levi Jeans did some good ones. Guinness did some good ones.
Yeah, you're more into the highbrow stuff. I just like people in body socks.
Fair enough. Each to their own. So this is from the Mothership website by Tanya Ong.
The Mothership website.
Yeah,
we're on the Mothership, baby.
Mothership.sg.
It's Bootsy.
Seems to be covering all kinds of bits and bobbins.
It's not just about Parliament, the band.
No, unfortunately, no. It's not just the.
Mothership came down and gave us the gift of funk, baby.
Nice. Yeah, so let's have a look at the sightings then. So, they talk again about the Japanese soldiers seeing a primate-like creature covered in grey hair and standing up to 6 feet 6 inches tall.
That's big, especially in Asia.
Yeah, so according to an account by a taxi driver who not only saw the BTMM but even injured it, when driving you'll find out. Let me read the quote. When driving my taxi past the fire station on Upper Bukit Timah Road in the middle of the night, I hit what I thought was a child that ran out in the middle of the road. It was on the car bonnet, and then
so I floored it.
Yes, I floored it and got the hell out of there.
One of those 6'6" grey-haired children.
Well, this is because the size kind of seems to vary quite a lot between sizes.
Well, he probably is a youngster.
I guess like a human being could be anything from 4 foot something to 7 foot. Depending on how.
Do you know what? Even smaller sometimes, Neil.
In some
cases, even taller.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
but rarer at either end of the spectrum. So he thought it was a child that ran out the middle of the road. He was on the car bonnet, snarled at him. It was a monkey, so big. It ran off injured, covered in blood, holding its arm, which was broken. I don't know how he's ascertained.
Well, just like you can just cite things like that, can't you? That's a broken arm.
Well, it could be a fracture.
You've got pancreatic cancer.
Yeah.
That's an ingrown toenail.
Do you know what? He probably should have been a vet, Chris, but there you go. He's missed his calling.
He likes the open roads.
He likes driving the taxi.
Do you know what he likes about it the most? The money's not great, but do you know what? It's the conversation.
Yeah. It's meeting new people every day.
Meeting new people from all over the world.
All walks of life.
Rich man, poor man. From Japan to Iran. Yeah. These are the people who got in the taxi I ran. That'll do.
There you go.
Move on. Quickly, move on.
I was going to say that'd be a good basis for a film, but I think they already did. Was it A Night on Earth or something? They did I think it starts with. I think it is a series of taxi drivers who around the world who have different customers.
Oh, okay.
There you go. It's I forget the
director's
name, but there you go. It's all right. First one's in New York with Winona Ryder, and then they've got that Italian fella in Rome who did all the jumping up and down when he won the Oscar.
Frankie Dettori.
Priest has a heart attack in his car when he confesses he was making love to a sheep or something.
Right.
I can't remember.
I'll be honest. That's the last thing that would make a priest have a heart attack, to be honest.
I heard it all, son. Do you think I hear in a confession, mate?
Have you heard of Pope Pius?
Anyway, so that's Taxi Driver. And another reported it rummaging through trash cans. I was going to the bus stop early one morning to catch the bus 171. It was very foggy and cold. I thought I saw a tramp going through the rubbish bin. However, when I approached it, I can't imagine there's many tramps in Singapore. It's quite, it's look down on that kind of thing.
Well, I mean, it's a bit of a totalitarian government, so I would imagine.
Authoritarian, so I imagine they'd be whisked off the streets.
They've already whisked off the streets and popped into a prison.
However, when I approached it, it called out with a loud animal sound and ran back into the forest. It was grey, hairy, and ran on two legs. It had a monkey's face, like Chris. He said, I was shivering with fear and called the police, but to no avail. That would be an interesting phone call for the police, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I just saw.
Seen a huge monkey.
What did he look?
What exactly do you want me to do about this?
What was his face like? It was monkey-like. What, like Chris? Yeah, like Chris. Oh, shit. Oh. Get yourself a hot sweet tea, son. We're sending out the special forces.
We're sending the Sweeney out. Take care of this. Yes, and then there's a third one from an article around. This is from Bro Bible. Bro Bible. Oh yeah.
That sounds like my cup of tea.
By Douglas Charles, but I'm just going to go with the quote.
Dougie C.
Oh no, actually no. We'll come to that one. Oh no, yeah, here it is. Yeah, so this has got two things on it. It's got the a sighting and a photo.
Okay.
So a 65-year-old retiree from the area reportedly explained to Singapore tabloid, the new paper. Okay, so that actually is a proper tabloid reference at least. We were always told as children when in the kampong not to go near the forest at night due to the monkey man. Of course, we never saw it ourselves, but it was always some uncle or friend of the family who'd seen it. Once we were shown these footprints near the forest road, and I remember the strong urine smell. However, whenever we heard shrieks coming from the jungle, we would tell each other, don't disturb the monkey man.
Wise words.
Yeah.
That's what...
an incontinent monkey.
That's what the post office insisted on having a plaque put out on my buzzer outside my flat. Don't disturb the monkey man.
Yeah, don't just leave it outside. Is that why all the Amazon drivers now just leave your parcel outside the door?
I've been blocked from ordering deliveries from Amazon.
Yeah. Probably a good thing, to be fair.
Yeah. I don't disagree.
Yeah.
I just can't help it.
So so this one's actually also they got the sighting, but it's been captured on camera. So this was, I think, only a couple of years ago. Let's have a look. It's about 3 years ago. So this is from 2020. So this was taken by Singapore's night raiders, and apparently they're a group of explorers who investigate various locations around Singapore in the dark at night.
That's a weird That's a weird sort of what do you call it? Like a mission statement for a group. We look at places at night.
Yeah, we hang around places at night and
sit. Yeah. We're the night raiders.
Well, I'd probably go to like a nice cafe or something, but each to your own.
I'd probably go to an EDM nightclub and have chemsex.
Oh, fair days. So, it's a broad word.
Night raiders.
Yeah. Or it all could equally apply for night raiders. It sounds like it does. Yeah, it sounds quite.
I mean, it sounds like it's just a cover for that, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, BTM as well sounds like it could be some kind of like sadomasochism thing. So I've put the link into the chat there, so you can have a look at the photo yourself, and we can sort of describe it. So here's from they published it on Facebook. So they said that this year, one of our equipment specialists.
That is shaky.
Well, bear in mind, it's having to pick up in very low light environment, Chris. Followed this particular group for a mission and tested paranormal equipment. I don't know what's paranormal about the equipment, other than that it picks up things in the darkness. During a particular night, they witnessed the BTMM, and our specialist managed to capture in split seconds. He said it's really huge. It's another type of mystery creature called Bigfoot. Some guys say it's folklore, some say it's a djinn. Whatever it is, whether you guys think the photo is genuine or not, it's for your opinion and imagination. At least we are aware that the BTMM is still around.
So my opinion is that isn't a picture of BTM.
I mean, it could be. So what you've basically got here, it's a very dark forest, and then when they kind of like up the resolution, there's a picture of
what could, but like what could like generously be called the outline of a head and shoulders going down to an arm.
Yeah, that could be
generously
shaped.
Yeah, it should just be a tree.
Yeah,
there's no facial features or anything. You can only see one side of it.
Could be a bloke in a costume. Could be all sorts of things.
I don't think it's even about. I think it's just like the trees, to be honest. But who knows, Neil? I've been wrong before.
Well, you have, and I'm going to give you the.
No, I haven't.
No, that's true. That's literally
this would be the first time.
Ever going to be wrong.
But there's a first time for everything. So I'm willing to admit that.
Well, unless you're wrong about that, that'd be quite the paradox, wouldn't it?
Well, then I'd be proving my point. Like very much like the maths Bible guy, I'd be proving my point.
So I've copied another one here. So this takes you to the mothership.
Oh,
and you can. So there's a YouTube video. So anyone wants to go to mothership, it's this one's a bit more Blair Witch.
It's a lot clearer. Why is he littering so much?
Yeah, it's so this very much it's like some sort of found footage.
I'll tell you what, right? It's a lot stockier and human-like than I was imagining.
Yeah, I mean, I was
thinking it'd be more kind of monkey-ish. What with the name? But no, it's a lot more like
that's got heavy Bigfoot costume vibes. That video, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Given the due, it's done quite clear. What they've done is they've sort of
chucked a litter around, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, he just kind of got into a bin and just decided to chuck a load of stuff about. And again, that's not going to go down well in Singapore, I wouldn't imagine. So.
No, that's the death penalty, I think.
I mean, maybe this is what they're doing. Is like all the sort of like they're blaming it. Be a bit more rebellious. They're get dressed up in a monkey man suit, going to act up a little bit. Well, if anyone finds you with what you're doing out at night, lads, it's like, we're just hunting.
The human spirit finds a way, doesn't it?
It'll do what it'll do. So that's all the sightings of the monkey man.
What, those two? Oh, and the guy who hit.
Well, no, we've had three. We've had
four. Yeah.
Yeah, we've had three kind of like verbal descriptions. Supposedly they were seen in 1805 by Japanese soldiers, although nobody seems to have any quotes on that. And then there's a photo which is going to run clear, and a very unconvincing YouTube video of what looks like a bloke in a costume throwing a load of rubbish about. I mean, some people, so they're saying on there here as well that a lot of people have suggested it probably is just the macaque monkey, because they are quite common around, and they do sometimes sort of boots them around on a couple of legs. So they kind of like you're going, if they're like reaching for bananas for you.
Yeah, or if they're going quickly, sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes they do actually go up on two legs and here and there. So if
but they're not very big, are they?
This is the one thing they're like they're only
a foot and a half or something.
Yeah, they're only like about 3 foot tall or something like that. But I suppose if it was dark, it was far away. You
had a few drinks.
You had a few,
yeah, a few jars,
Singaporean whiskies or whatever. Then who knows? I don't know what the national drink for Singapore would be, but look.
What you're looking at? What's Singapore's favourite tipple?
Yeah,
well, it is important. We do need to cover that base. Here we go.
Where is that?
What is it?
Well,
I feel like we're leaving there's an unnecessary pause in the podcast for you to look this up.
Yeah, okay, we'll maybe cut this down.
Remember, we have people, very few, but people do listen.
No, I've been unable to find out. So, but hey ho, that was a told us something we didn't need to go up. But yeah, so that's basically the story of the Bukit Timah Monkey Man. I mean,
okay.
We'll close out with a Singaporean artist, Brandon Tay, who's done art related to the BTMM, suggesting one way of looking at the creature. It might be easier why the legend exists if we treat the Monkey Man not as an actual animal, but a kind of supernatural manifestation that reflects the society's subconscious thoughts. There you go. I think he's explaining to us what folklore is there. Thanks, Brandon. So that was from the Mothership as well. So yeah, so there you go. A few different articles. Little bit. I'm just going to quickly go back to the wiki to say where it's been used in popular culture. I said it was using quite a bit. Actually, a lot of this. So it was in season 6 of Bones.
I don't remember that, and I've seen most of Bones.
You've seen Bones, haven't you? You've studied it extensively.
I studied it extensively. I tell you what Bones was good for. Is it was quite good to, when I was having sleep issues, it was quite good to put on quite quietly and go to sleep. Yeah. But
David Boreanaz or whatever.
I watch everything that Boreanaz is. SEAL Team.
I've not seen any of his stuff. I think he was in Buffy the Vampire Slayer, wasn't he? Which I never.
I just remember that me and my mate were kind of I remember when we were like 17 or something, and like there was like in the newspaper that David Boreanaz was was in like the Forbidden Planet store or something in London. Okay. And he was like charging 50 quid for a signature, and I thought that's fucking ridiculous. And I said that we should cover a load of Monopoly money in pig's blood and go and throw it at him. But
the thing is, though,
with 2 child actors dressed as orphans crying.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, though, because those things, they do get paid quite a bit for those sort of signings and stuff.
It's weird, isn't it? Because I kind of think it's.
I think if it's like an actor and you're kind of on your uppers a little bit, or you've not had any success for a while, I think fair enough. If people want to come along and see.
I think it's weird charging for your signature. Something of no value.
If you're like Paul McCartney or whatever, it's like you've got enough money, haven't you, mate? But because this is the thing, because I think he does, and I think his argument is that it has a transactional value, and you can sell it.
I'm aware of that more now, but I think for me, because in the UK, that was I hadn't heard of that before. Whereas I think in America, where they have Comic-Con and all that kind of stuff, it's probably more widely known. But it's the first time that I'd heard of it, and I was like, "The fuck? What's 50 quid for your signature?"
Well, I think as well, though, it's kind of like it's the whole thing where because you're right.
Because I was thinking like you do it.
You don't.
No, you do it for the fans or whatever. Yeah. Well, no, you do it at book signing because they're buying your book.
Well, no, but exactly that's the thing, isn't it? Because I think but I suspect as well with those kind of things, it's probably one where it's like, you get to go and have a quick chat with them and all of that sort of thing, and then they'll sort of sign a personalised thing. I mean, they're putting in some effort, aren't they? I suppose. Well, at the end of the day, if people didn't want to do it, then it wouldn't be worth it. Would it?
Well, you're only saying that.
I wouldn't pay David Boreanaz 50 sheets for a signature, but
it's gone up now, probably.
I would have thought that would have been peak earnings for him.
Yeah, exactly. So it's probably going up, isn't it? Well, no, because he said, do you know what? Like, as he's got a bit older and kind of moved away from being the guy in Buffy, then he's got more roles and stuff. So because Bones went on for about 24 series, and SEAL Team's on about series 7. So he's
probably not hurting for cash either.
He's stacking the cash.
But if you're like Peter Mayhew or whatever, like the guy who played Chewbacca, then it's probably like I doubt George Lucas gave you very much money for those films, but
to be fair, you're only saying this because you charge for selfies, and that's even with you not being famous. It's just if there's a group of us like in the pub and like go, oh, like let's take a selfie. You say, right, well that'd be £5 each.
£5, please, yeah.
Blue notes, thanks.
Yeah, and if you want to do a video appearance, you have to go to my Cameo site.
Which is why I have to use pretty much 1 or 2 photos from about 10 years ago in the artwork for your face in this.
Well, I'm sorry, unless you're going to pay me, I'm not going to do it for nothing. That model for nothing. Obviously, I don't use the official Cameo site because there's some stipulation about me not being famous. So I use the one spelt with a Z and a T. Yeah.
Well, you've got
only the elites can charge for video of themselves now, can they?
Well, you've famously got
Gary Busey can drunkenly rant into his phone. I don't see why I've got to charge for it as well.
You famously got that tattooing Gothic writing across your chest with "My face is my fortune," haven't you?
Exactly, yeah.
And you just pull your top up if someone asks to take a photo.
Is that why you're so broke? Yeah. Exactly, yeah. Unfortunately, that goes 2 ways.
That's why I'm using
an arrogant youth, so I hadn't thought that one through, and it's going to come back to bite me. But there you go. I've committed to my choice, and I won't alter. I'll just have a quick look at some of the other ones. So it's been in a lot of Singaporean art and children's kind of books and things like that. The other ones, and Brandon Tay gets a shout out again. So I don't know. Maybe check out Mr. Tay's Singaporean art. See what that's like. Also been included in the Time Out list of the best known Singaporean urban legends. So there you go. I can't imagine that's an expensive list. Yeah, exactly. Well, there's obviously
you actually can urinate in lifts. Chewing gum isn't banned.
Yeah. Because that was the thing. As dispose of it carefully. I think it's the other thing.
At a chewing gum recycling centre.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah, that's the
let's score this, mother. So spookiness.
Neil. Not really particularly spooky. It doesn't attack people. It doesn't do anything. Yeah, it's
chucks litter about.
Probably just sightings of a macaque. Anyway, let's chuck a bit. Litter. I mean, I suppose that's quite
in Singapore.
So going to be a 2 for me on spookiness.
2. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's malicious anyway. And also it's actually pretty righteous in the way that it fought against the Imperial Japanese Army in World War II. So I think it's friend, not foe. So I'm going to go with you, Neil. I'm going to give it a 2. Believability. I mean, like, it'd be more believable, or more possible, I guess, if it wasn't confined to such a shoebox of an area, right? That concerns me. So what I think's happened is I think that before Singapore became basically just a big city, I think that there probably were folk tales about a monkey man. I think there are echoes of those still kicking about. So do people believe it? They're maybe a bit like when they're kids. I don't think that the habitat which they're giving it is big enough to sustain a large biped. So I'm going to give it, but because it's not supernatural, I'm going to give it a 4. Neil?
Yeah, probably similar for me. So it's not about no, I don't necessarily believe there's a massive thing, but there's a lot of macaques and stuff like that around. I think you could say things. I suspect it's probably one of those things where they use it to scare kids. I doubt anyone sort of like truly believes in this. It's a nice little thing to have as your, like the Jersey Devil or something, to a little bit of folklore about your hometown. But probably, aren't too many people actually believing in it themselves. But it's something you can use to scare kids who might, believe in things like Santa Claus. So I'll give it a 4 as well on that basis. But yeah, not intrinsically high believability.
Narrative premise, Neil?
I mean, the problem is you've got to put him up against the Monkey Man of Delhi, who
had roller skates,
to all sorts of shenanigans.
Shoots
There's a film made about him. Yes, goes on roller skates and all things. I mean, he's just kind of like.
I mean, he's weak sauce compared to the Monkey Man of Delhi.
Yeah,
let's just say it.
It doesn't get up too much. I mean, having said that, it's not like Bigfoot does all that much either. But it's the problem is there's too many. It's like kind of like franchise Bigfoot thing, isn't it? There's too many variations on this. So I think there's not enough to differentiate it from other Bigfoot variants.
And it's actually a bit worse. Variants.
Yeah, and it's kind of like a bit less believable. I mean, the one good thing is it's in Singapore, so that's nice. So I think that bumps it up a little bit because you've got this nice, lovely little local forest, and you've got a different environment there which he's hanging about in. So I'm going to give it a 5 based on that. But yeah,
5. So, yeah, I don't know. Like, so I guess they should have gone in believability or whatever. But the kind of sort of Southeast Asian sort of chain of islands that go from kind of like like Malaysia and Indonesia and Borneo, kind of between Southeast Asia and Australia. So there is findings there of like sort of branches of humans that didn't go any further, like the Hobbit people and that kind of stuff. They do find sort of because a lot of it is like really unexplored.
Yeah.
So I guess what I'm thinking from a narrative point of view is you could do something with it, like everyone's looking in sort of like Papua New Guinea or whatever for this kind of missing link or whatever, and it turns out it's just in like a tiny park just outside Singapore City. So I don't know, maybe there's something there. I'll give it, and it's in Singapore and stuff. So I mean, I'll give it a 4-0, a kind 4, and Reach. So I'd heard of it, but I'm looking at stuff like this. It sounds like it's pretty well known in Singapore. It was in Bones, or it was mentioned in Bones in passing.
Yeah, I mean, that was just someone doing a quick web check. I don't know.
And what else is it? Like, what other stuff?
The other stuff was really just so there was a contemporary art installation called Project Mending Sky, searching for Singapore's Bigfoot.
So I'm going to say it's not got a massive global reach. I think that's fair.
Yeah, I think it's Singaporean.
Singapore's
that was what that Australian article was. They're trying to sort of market it to the Australian market. And it was more kind of going, look, we've got a nice forest in Singapore as well that you can traipse around in.
So I don't think it's very big, to be honest. So I'm going to give it a 3, I think, for Reach.
Yeah, Reach-wise, so supposedly dates back to 1805, but it depends on whether or not you sort of believe that. I mean, it's probably got a bit of lineage, is the one thing. But yeah, I don't think it's really known outside of Singapore. And there's more famous versions of Bigfoot, so I'll give it a 4 based on that.
So that's quite a low 25.
Well, you need to have some variation.
You do. And there you go. 25.
Too many in the middle of the curve.
Too many in the middle.
For a while there, so it's good to have some outliers.
Yeah,
just to make sure we want to be, otherwise we're not doing a thorough job exploring the folkloric landscape,
which is what we're paid for. So if you are a monkey man, then please get in touch at legends.podcast@gmail.com, or you can Twitter us at legendsurbane, and please leave a comment or a rating or something, because we don't get any, and it would really improve our mood in these dark months. But yeah, that's it for this week, and we'll be back with some creepypasta next week, which is fairly well known. It's one of the bigger ones. Ooh. So, hold on to your hats, do up your britches, and brush your teeth, because it is on. Goodbye.
Well, there you go. A bold claim there. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.
It's an urban legend. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Girls are great. Oh, I'd give them my best. White and white, please, John.